I've talked in class about this a bit, and I talked with you a little bit, Liz, about it. I really appreciate the staging here. I appreciate the time that the actors are taking. It's interesting to play around with. You could almost feel like, because you have her body come in, I'm wondering whether this might not work, but we see her come in. What would happen if we heard her stand in this previous shot and say, "Excuse me," from right here, and not show her yet, and just cut back to Alyssa, and then come to her after.
Excellent. What are you doing?
Oh, that's right. We don't have the shot. I forgot about that. If we had the shot. I like, Alyssa, that you know, one of the things, it feels that you're trying to keep the previous beat going, which is good. It goes back to those Brando notes I gave you guys earlier in the semester, which is, you know, you could have already come down off the desk at some point, but staying up there and trying to hold on to that as long as you can, however you guys came to that, is, I think, works really well. It'd be nice to have a point of view shot of that, which I think I mentioned.
And I imagine you smoked all these cigarettes. No, they came pre-smoked. I mentioned you were funny. Well, please don't let me distract you.
I think that I'd play around with this little section a little bit, Liz. It feels to me like
I'm here to make your life.
once she gets down,
Are these pages?
particularly because we don't have the other shots,
No. And I imagine you smoked all these cigarettes.
it might be nice to stay with Thalia as much as you can. I know we got to get her over to the window here, but
Well, please don't let me distract you.
yeah, even if you, well, I see what you're doing. It's tricky.
What do you think about leaving off the building?
I think, see, part of it is I think it would be nice to have, God, I don't know. It's funny because each time I think about a different alternative, I'm getting more of an idea why you're editing it the way you did. I mean, it might have been interesting if there was a change in rhythm in this scene somehow, where Thalia, once she decided that she was let in and took off her jacket, really got to work and wasn't quite so. Thalia, you're a little bit lethargic. You don't quite take over the way I think she might. You know, you're sort of scanning things rather than going to work.
What do you think about leaving off the building? The photograph from the LA Times for 10.
And we talked about, I think the main thing I'm feeling is it just, everything you guys are doing is fine. And the edit's really pretty good. Other than the things we talked about, it'd be nice to be seeing Alyssa go down here to the floor and that kind of thing. And the choice you've made to have Thalia be detached, I think is okay. I just feel like in some ways it might be interesting to have a different dynamic in the room. If you've got Alyssa being so still and off in her own world, to have Thalia have a little brisker energy until this section might be interesting.
Her face is so serene. So at peace.
Nice moment.
It's because when she died, she could feel the world against her fire.
Be nice to have a close-up here of her face, right? Interesting, just on a side note, having Thalia in white with the white background, or cream with the cream background, does interesting things, not always for the positive for her character. It tends to I mean, it says certain things about her character that are not, maybe don't give her as much authority in the composition of the frame.
I don't know how to kill her own quick.
And the I know,
Just
it feels to me like I don't know how to kill Harold Crick, even if what happened is Thalia came down to her and joined her in the frame there. And finally she went, okay, now I've got you where I want you, right? But we don't get to see her in this shot. And it feels to me like we really missed the fact that this is the moment at which Thalia's characters won the scene. She could help her up off the floor, you know, and this all could have been... That one shot just stayed too neutral too long.
I have been an assistant for more than 20 years. I helped more than 20 authors complete more than 35 books. I have never missed a deadline. I have never lost a writer to a block from
And Thalia, I just don't believe that you've done all these things because you just seem a little too laid back. I mean, there's laid back, and then there's... I just think you could be more...
Unlike loud music, I do not abide narcotics. I prefer to be called Penny, not Miss Fisher.
And I think that mostly has to do with continuing behaviors. It's not... You don't have to be that much firmer. It's just that I think you could have been, you know, cleaning up all that crap in front of her. You could be just really taking over through this whole section here. But overall, very nice work, and I'm sorry we lost your shot. Yo!